Hello everybody, I'm Theo Heartsill. Now just a real quick note, I had previously made a video about the last trump of God where I went into describing the trumpet that's associated with the rapture. I also went into the Roman watches of the night. I went in and I talked about the cock crow and when Peter denied Jesus, and I described and detailed all of those things in relation to the trumpet in regards to the rapture and about the church. So I just wanted to break a portion of that video out to just describe to you the four watches of the night, the trumpet blasts of the night, the cock crowing, and when and exactly did Peter betray Jesus, and what did Peter hear when all of that happened? Was it a trumpet or was it a chicken crowing? So if you've seen my video about the last trumpet, the trump of God associated with the rapture, then this is just a portion of this video. If some of you watch this for the first time and you haven't seen the other one, and you decide this is really amazing and intriguing and you want to watch the other video, I'll put a link down in the description below and you can go watch that video, but this video is just an excerpt of that longer video. Without further ado, I'm getting out of the way and getting right into this video. But now I want to move over and talk to you about what were called the trumpets of the night watch, because this is so beautiful and this is so important. But speaking about the night watch was broken up into four different segments, each being 3 hours each. The first segment was from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The second watch was from 9 p.m. to midnight. The third watch was from midnight to 3 a.m. And then the fourth watch of the night was from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Listen to what the Bible says in Mark chapter 13, verse 33, starting there. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Notice that, to watch. Verse 35, watch. Notice that again, watch. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house cometh. Listen to this, at evening, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. Did you notice how he's emphatically driving home this over and over? Watch, watch, watch. This is going to be just like the king who left, and he left his servants in charge, and he told them to watch. And there's four different watches that you need to watch out for, and you need to be careful of. You need to be careful of the first watch, and the second watch, and the third watch, and the fourth watch, because you don't know when the good man of the house is going to come back. The reason this is beautiful and important is because the first watch went from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That was the first watch. And what happened when they blew the trumpets was there was a trumpet blast at the end of every 3-hour segment of the night watch. So in other words, there was the first watch of the night, which went from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then at 9 p.m. there was a trumpet blast that was blown to signify that the first watch was over, and now they were beginning the second watch of the night. The second watch of the night went from 9 p.m. to midnight, and that was a 3-hour period there. And then at the end of that second watch of the night, at midnight, there was a trumpet blast that went forth that signaled it was the end of the second watch and the beginning of the third watch. The third watch of the night went from midnight to 3 a.m., and there was a blowing of the trumpets at 3 a.m., which signified that the third watch of the night was over and they were entering the fourth watch. And then the fourth watch of the night went from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, and then there was a trumpet blast that blew at 6 a.m. to signify that the fourth watch was over, and therefore the night watch was all over and completed and done. And the reason this is beautiful is because this ties into exactly what Jesus said in Mark chapter 13. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening, which would be the first watch of the night, or at midnight, which would be the second watch of the night, or at the cock crowing, which is the third watch of the night, or at the morning, which is the fourth watch of the night. Now, one thing that I want to highlight and talk about these night watches, and one reason that I think this is so beautiful, and I'm about to get into the last trumpet in just a minute, but one thing that I think is really beautiful in all my research and study of all this was the fact that I learned the significance and the beauty of what was the third watch and what it was actually called. Is the third watch of the night, which went from midnight till 3 a.m. in the morning, was actually called the cock crow. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first got into church and I learned about Jesus Christ telling Peter, before the cock crow twice, you're going to deny me 3 times, I was always told and had the implication and understanding that Jesus was talking about a literal rooster, like a chicken. After all my study and research, I came to find out that Jesus wasn't talking about a literal chicken, a little rooster that was sitting up there saying cock-a-doodle-doo, but the third watch of the night is actually called the cock crow, because the cock crow was blown at 3 o'clock, and then from 3 o'clock to 6, which ended up being the last watch of the night, was where the rooster started to crow. Listen to what the Bible says about the cock crow. It is the Greek word 219, electrophania, because Jesus said in Mark 13:35 that at evening or at midnight or at cock crow or in the morning, that Greek word 219, electrophania, according to the Strong's Greek dictionary, means a cock crow, that being or that is the third watch of the night, called the cock crow. According to the ATS Bible dictionary, it means the third watch of the night in the time of Christ. According to Easton's Bible dictionary, the Jews had adopted the Greek and Roman division of night into 4 watches, each consisting of 3 hours each, the first beginning at 6 o'clock in the evening, the first watch, the second watch, and then the cock crow. According to Nelson's Bible Dictionary, it says, a period of time between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning, the third watch of the night. According to Lexham Bible Dictionary, it says, the third of 4 night watches assigned by the Romans. Cock crow fell between midnight and 3 a.m., named because the rooster would begin crowing toward the morning. Jesus was telling the Apostle Peter, before the cock crow, in other words, before the trumpet blast at 3 a.m. in the morning, you're going to have denied me 3 times. And you might say, well, how come the cock crow was blown twice or done twice? And the reason is, and you can do your own research on this and study this out, but when there was a large influx of people into the city during a festival or a holiday or any other thing, what would happen was the trumpeter would get up there at the blowing of these night watches, and they would get up there and they would blow the trumpet in one direction, and then they would turn around and they would blow it again, duplicate it in the other direction. So when this trumpeter gets up there to blow the trumpet when Jesus is being about to be crucified, the trumpet blast is blown 2 different times. It's blown in one direction to make sure all these people heard it, and then it's blown in the opposite direction to make sure all of these people heard it. This is beautiful to know and understand, because Jesus wasn't talking to Peter about a literal rooster crowing, but literally a trumpet blast being given. And when you look up that word for cock in the Greek, it literally means a rooster, but that's because it was called the cock crow, or the cock crowing, because it was named for that. In that last segment of the night, that's when the roosters would begin to crow. And I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not telling you not to believe that it was not a rooster, but I'm telling you biblically that I'm showing you in the Bible dictionaries, and there's plenty of other research out there that all verifies beyond a shadow of a doubt that what Jesus was talking about was a trumpet blast that happened at 3 a.m. and it was blown twice because they blew it in one direction and then they turned around and blew it in another direction. But one of the reasons that I even wanted to highlight that in the first place is because this sticks out to me and beautiful, and you got to ask yourself, well, wait a second, why is the story of Peter denying Jesus Christ even in the Bible in the first place? And why did he specifically calling out that it would be connected to the cock crow, which I've already showed you biblically was the blowing of the trumpet at 3 a.m., which was signifying that they were going into the 4th watch of the night. And the reason that I believe that's important is because I believe that is a foreshadowing that's telling you and I, look, if the Apostle Peter, who walked with Jesus Christ for 3.5 years and understood and knew that he was God manifested in the flesh, and the Apostle Peter had a revelation of who God was, that he was the Messiah, and he even said, I'll never deny you. And Jesus looked at him and said, look, I'm telling you, before the cock crow, before the trumpet blast at 3 a.m., I'm telling you, you're going to deny me 3 times. That ought to be a wake-up call for you and I to say, you know what? When that cock crows at 3 a.m., that means that we're entering into the last watch of the night, and it's about to be over, and there's about to be a last trumpet blast, and I'm about to get into that in a minute. But you and I need to be careful, and you and I need to make sure and know and understand, just resolve it in your heart, that no matter how much they come against you and begin to come against you to persecute you, or how many fingers they start pointing at you and saying, hey, you're one of them them that was with Jesus. You were with him. I know who you are. I know that you were with him. I know you're a follower of Jesus. You better be careful of the times and the seasons that are ahead of us. And there may be tribulation and trial and persecution come against us, but you better make up your mind. I am not going to deny Jesus Christ, because when that cock crow goes off, that means that we have entered into the last watch of the night, and there is about to be a breaking of the dawning. You better make up your mind and solve it in your heart that I'm not going to deny him, because I'm in the fourth watch of the night, and I'm not going to give up being this close to the breaking of the dawn. I'm not going to give up and deny Jesus Christ of Nazareth. God bless you. I love you and I appreciate you. I hope this video's been a blessing to you. Like I said, I'm going to have more videos coming out in the near future, hopefully, about the rapture, about the marriage feast of the Lamb, and all this is going to help you know and understand more about the bride of Christ. God bless you. I love you. I appreciate you. I want to thank you for praying for me, and I want you to know that I'm praying for you. God bless you. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.